at the last possible second that for a moment or two, my microphone went dead. Not as much as Rory McIlroy did this weekend.
USA, 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 USA.
And I am going to commit a cardinal sin and talk about baseball.
And that is
talk about baseball.
I'm going to commit two cardinal sins. We're going to talk about baseball and hockey. Dear Montreal Canadiens, you blew it. Let's go.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah!
I got to be a little quieter than normal because my daughter is sick and my wife has a migraine. So got to keep it to a low roar. Good morning and welcome to the Don't Talk About Baseball Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Victor?
Too bad I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm gonna too. But I'm gonna start with a little song.
Okay.
The season's upside down. The season's upside down. Hi ho the Dario. The season's upside down.
So
and yesterday we all saw how.
So yesterday,
why is the season upside down? Because Caitlin Clark almost had a triple double already.
Oh
no. Baseball wise. Oh, that season. That season's going to really listen. If things go the way I think they're going to go, and the Indiana figures this out, really not only is the season upside down, but the league is going to be upside down. Let me bring Diggs in properly.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
you're muted.
USA, 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 USA.
You're muted, sir.
And Victor, I know you're going to get mad at me for this statement. And Snowman is still muted, which is why I'm talking. But Victor, you're going to get mad at me. Yeah. Rory McIlroy over the weekend made Stephen A. Smith right.
Timeout. What's up?
You were muted. You were muted, so we were just talking. We were talking over you while you were muted.
I didn't realize I was muted. I was going to introduce you by saying Deets gave me this note before we came on the air.
Mhm.
Stephen A. Smith was proven right by Rory McIlroy. Explain, please.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, he said Stephen A. Smith said golf's not a sport. And Rory McIlroy getting upset at a fan chanting during his stroke, during his collapse at the PGA, and getting mad for someone chanting USA because we all know Rory McIlroy is not American and he plays against America.
Yep.
In the Ryder Cup.
Yep. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but him getting angry at a fan for cheering is absolutely insane. And let's just put this in perspective. Imagine in golf, the ball's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't talk in my backswing. You can't make noise in my backswing. Imagine Frank Thomas swinging at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He misses it, and he turns to the crowd and says, "Shh, you have to be quiet while I'm swinging." No! Part of sport is dealing with the crowd, dealing with everybody around you.
Well, also, remember, we lived at a time where Sammy Sosa sat there and basically chastised the fans, saying, "We don't want to hear any more fans booing." That's actually what he said.
I mean, this is why. But this is what allows people like Stephen A. Smith to say, "Oh, golf's not a sport." Dude, if it's a sport, people should be able to cheer. People should be able to like. I understand these people that I understand these golfers that say, "Oh, it's not proper etiquette." Like, look, to say golf's not a sport. Golf is an athletic activity. It takes skill to play golf. Okay, but I will tell you this right now. I've only played golf a handful of times, and I can count them on my hand how many times I've actually played golf, and it's dreadful every time. I hated every minute of it. Okay, I hate golf. But when I've played golf with my friends, and we're sitting there, and we're on the course, and we're drinking beers, and we're shooting our shots, I can guarantee you nobody's sitting there quiet as a mouse. When guys, we're sitting there having conversations. I'm talking while I'm swinging because I didn't care about my score. It wasn't like, oh, I really care. I was like, this sucks. I want to get out of here as quick as possible.
I'll say this: whenever the few times I've played golf,
but if you can't be heckled, it's not a sport. If you can't be heckled at it, it's not a sport.
The few times that I have played golf, there's a particular game that we call it, but I can't say it on air, so I'll have to wait. But, there's a particular game that we would play because of how frustrating it was. The thing is this: I understand that in golf there's a lot of concentration, but this just shows how backwards golf can be. The whole idea of sports is fan interaction, where they cheer, where they boo, where they go crazy. Yeah, like that's the interaction you have, and you have it in every single sport. But for some reason, golf kind of says, we don't want that. So
it's the whole reason Happy Gilmore exists. It's the whole reason the movie Happy Gilmore exists. Like it's making fun of golfing when he's sitting there and Happy Gilmore in his first professional shot is getting ready to hit the ball, and he's like, "Come on, let's make some noise here," and he gets like the crowd going up, and then he hits the ball. And meanwhile, his opponent, Shooter McGavin, is hated by the fans because he wants them to be quiet. He wants them to be, yeah. So
I am waiting. I'm waiting for a player like that, for like Happy Gilmore to show up. I don't like Tiger kind of had that same type of tenacity, but like he didn't have that same fire like Happy did. I'm waiting for someone like Happy Gilmore to say, "Hey, let's clap it up. Let's make some noise in here."
Yeah, like that's wild. That's wild to say. Oh, a fan messed me up, and that fan talked in my backswing, kick him out. Can you imagine anybody in baseball saying you can't talk during my swing?
So
well, they're trying to hit an 85-mile-an-hour slider that's moving across the plate. Get out of here.
Imagine this. Imagine like Brandon Aubrey or Jake Moody or any like kicker. They get set up for a field goal. Mind you, everyone's going crazy in the football stands. They missed the kick.
Yep.
And then he looks like the fans interrupted me. The fans distracted me. I'm like,
so are you gonna? So using that logic, Victor, you mean a kicker could have 65,000 people kicked out of the stadium? So basically, what I'm also reading is Rory McIlroy turned. Oh, you beat me to it. He turned into LeBron James.
He tried to get
really,
out.
Really, Rory McIlroy. Give it. You know what? Give me this camera.
Go ahead.
Really, Rory McIlroy. Really?
And it's disappointing for someone like McIlroy.
It's come to
been in there for a long time.
To that now. You know, Rory McIlroy, you were a respected golfer, even though I don't play the sport. Never have. I've tried playing the sport. It sucked. But you're not respected anymore. Not by me. Not for that piece of BS. And you're not respected. I mean this kiddingly. You made Stephen A. Smith look correct.
Right.
Really? You're gonna do that to open on Monday? Jeez,
I'll never forgive you for that one.
It's Dietz's moment. It's Dietz's moment from the Cowboy Packer game. And he looks at Jesus Christ. It's that. It's that.
That's what makes sports. That's what makes sports.
Exactly. I mean, even tennis, which is also kind of one of those off-field sports where it's not as loud. Because they kind of like wait till like until they get to Arthur
Ashe
Stadium.
You're not allowed to yell out. You're not allowed to yell out during the serve or whatever. Give me a break.
Right.
It's like, okay, look, like I said, I understand that there's a lot of concentration because you are trying to hit a ball the size of like an acorn. With this club, I understand that there's a lot of concentration involved, but again, you deal with that in any sport. You're going to deal with it, especially if they don't like you and you're going against them, like a McIlroy. Going against
to say that because it takes so much concentration to do whatever. It takes a lot of concentration to shoot an orange ball from the free throw line into a 10-foot high cylinder. Okay, it takes a lot of concentration to do that too. But people cheer and they yell and they wave shit behind the basket so that you can't concentrate, and you know what? People still do it, and the good ones get past it. They overcome their surroundings. That's what makes them athletes.
But that's what makes
if you sit there, if you made everybody sit down and be quiet, and you're not allowed to cheer during a free throw, then everybody would say this is not this. This isn't a sport. No one cares.
Then all the fan interaction would dip if you weren't allowed to.
My point for me, Dietz, is that everyone deals with this. McIlroy ain't special. Like I said, it goes back to what I said about Sammy Sosa. He's like, we don't want to hear fans booing. The fans will boo if they see something they don't like. Either they don't like the team or they don't like the product in the field. How many people boo with Milton? Go ahead.
Listen, fans will boo if they see something they don't like. As we head to a break, just ask the Detroit Pistons.
Just ask how many people booed when Milton Bradley took the ball, threw it in the stands when there were only 2 outs.
He chucked the ball into the stands.
Would he be in the right to say, "You guys shouldn't boo me for that"?
You know what?
If you don't want people to boo you, just go Jack McDowell and flip him the double bird. Okay. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
When you said USA, I was like, oh, maybe something happened in the World Cup. Nope, never mind.
No.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Let's take a break. Yep, let's take a break. When y'all get back, before we get to the meltdown of the Detroit Pistons, the Super Bowl is headed to Nashville. What?
Why?
I'll say it again. The Super Bowl is headed to Nashville. What?
Gross.
Back in the news.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not...
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Let's begin with the following statement. Roy McIlroy, you a bleep. You know which word I want to use.
I'll use it.
Go ahead.
I'll ask the station to forgive me in advance. Rory McIlroy, you a bitch.
Exactly.
There.
All right.
Now,
how about the season upside down? The Houston Sun are 4 games closer to being 0-42.
Oh God.
Yep. We'll get to our WNBA chat. We'll get to our WNBA chat later. The Super Bowl is headed in 2030 to Nashville.
Man, took him to Nashville.
Yeah. Makes sense.
What?
They're getting a new stadium.
I know that, but
if you get that's the rule. That's the rule now. If you get a new stadium, if you build a new stadium, you get a Super Bowl. That's how it works.
It gives them 3 years to get settled into the new digs. I understand that, but I read that this morning, and Ryan McCarthy.
What's the problem with Nashville though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the problem with Nashville? It's one of the biggest cities. Okay. It's one of the biggest cities in the East Coast.
Not named New York.
I mean, they've never done it. They've never done a Super Bowl in Nashville because they didn't have a team in Tennessee for the longest time. They haven't had updated stadium. But what's different from Nashville as opposed to New Orleans? What's different? Nashville is a huge tourist destination. There's so much to do in Nashville. I don't know. As somebody, I'm just tired of the same. I'm tired of the same 4 cities getting a Super Bowl every year. It goes L.A., New Orleans, Miami. L.A., New Orleans, Miami. L.A., New Orleans, Miami. Oh, we'll throw Vegas in there because Vegas got a stadium. We'll throw Arizona in there every now and then. There's more to do in Nashville than there is in Glendale, Arizona.
Why can't you do Dallas?
They already
do Dallas. They do Dallas. They do Houston sometimes. But it's the same cities over and over again.
It's just
logical point.
I don't know. You know what? I'm just looking like if that's the case.
They did that. They did Dallas, and everybody froze their asses off.
Yeah, it snowed.
Yeah, it snowed. It snowed. It was an ice storm, and still the new Texas Stadium hosted 103,000 people.
Right.
Yeah.
You could do. They could do Dallas again. They could do.
I mean, they did New Jersey. They did the Meadowlands. They did the Meadowlands when the Meadowlands got a new stadium.
Now here's a city that's here's a city that's going to beg for a Super Bowl, and I hope it never comes there.
Chicago. Yeah. Honestly,
and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. They're going to build this stadium in Arlington Heights. I bet you they're going to wind up going to Arlington Heights because there's no reason for them to go to There's no reason for them to go to Gary, Indiana. None.
I mean, they could have done it in Soldier Field. Is it really that different from Texas Stadium?
Yes.
For me, it ain't.
Well, for us, it ain't because we did games there. Yeah, there's a difference between Texas State, the new Texas Stadium, aka AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, it's a new Texas Stadium, I guess. Yeah,
there's a difference between AT&T Stadium and Soldier Field. It's called a roof. Playmakers with this. It says for 4 remaining teams. Talking NBA, people thought in the beginning of this are the 4 teams people thought in the beginning of the season. I'm only looking at the Western Conference Finals. We'll get to that later. But the Super Bowl is headed to the Super Bowl is headed to Nashville. I happened to be in Nashville in 2017 when and I kid when I do this because it was a lot of fun in Nashville. I will admit that aloud. The Stanley Cup final.
The barbecue is nice. I'll give it that. The barbecue is always nice.
Heck yeah! You come out. You open the game with Jeff Jarrett coming out to the middle of the field, slamming a guitar in the middle of the field. You're telling me you can't do a party in Nashville? Like Nashville could do it upright. We'll probably if it's actually in Nashville. You know we're gonna get a damn good halftime show.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna get politically correct. You know it's gonna be a Nashville halftime show, and that's why it'll be a fun time. It'll be all about football. It'll be all about America. It'll all be about everything we love.
You know what?
You can make this so much a country. You could do something they haven't done. You could do something they haven't done in a long time. Look, Jeff Jarrett coming out and spiking the guitar at the 50-yard line. Entertainment.
I mean,
and if it should go to if it's confirmed, and I got the feeling it is, Deets, you may need to reset because you're lagging bad, brother. You may need to do a quick reset.
Yeah, I got you.
But you know what? You know what you do in Nashville. You know what you do in Nashville. You make the halftime. You tell Jay-Z we don't want you doing the halftime show.
Right.
We'll take care of it, and you get the biggest country stars you can lay your eyes on, and you make it a country halftime show. Why not? You're in Nashville, Tennessee.
But that
now I'm starting to. You know what, Deets? Damn you! I'm starting to warm up to this.
That's what they should do for everyone. I mean, I still say that one of my favorite halftime shows is the one that happened in L.A. I mean, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Eminem. Like,
the only problem with that is that they cut it to 15 minutes and didn't give it the normal 30.
To me, the only thing that made that better is if out of the grave comes Eazy-E. That would have made it. That would have sold it for me.
That would have sold it.
Greatest of all time.
That would have sold it.
You know, but it's like
that would have sold it.
That should be what really hits for the Super Bowl. It's the chance for particular states to kind of show their side of culture.
Listen, Pasadena, California hosted Michael Jackson.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
Pasadena, California hosted Michael Jackson. Miami, Florida hosted Prince.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Nashville, Tennessee can host the biggest. Nashville, Tennessee can have the biggest country stars. It'll be the biggest.
Yes.
And you need listen. And the only problem I had with the Dr. Dre show in Los Angeles is that they only made it 15 minutes.
Yeah, because they knew why.
Minutes.
They knew why because they knew that there would never.
They knew why.
Absolutely, there would never be another show.
There would never be another. If they made it any bigger, there would never be. Listen, if they made it any bigger, there would never be another Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
And look, I have nothing against. I have nothing against.
If made it any bigger, there would never, ever be another Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
Look,
now, Deets has me warmed up to this idea.
Yeah, Deets has got to be like one of the greatest.
Deets has me warmed up to this. You know what, Deets? you know what, Deets?
Car salesman in the world.
I mean this playfully. I mean because when the news came down this morning that the Super Bowl was headed to Nashville, what the hell are they doing going to Nashville? Now Deets decides to throw a little logic at me. He said, look, you can make it the biggest halftime show. You can have Jeff Jarrett coming out, spiking the guitar at the 50-yard line. And then Deets said, you wouldn't tell me people wouldn't be entertained like that? Of course they would. Hell, I would.
Look, I'm just
okay,
saying,
and I'm a city boy in my heart.
Deets can show you a Pinto, and you're like, I'm not buying this Pinto. He's like, this one the greatest.
I ain't buying this.
You're like, here, take my money. You sold me.
In three, you know what? Deets is the world's. I'll repeat Victor's words. And yes, we're picking on Deets this morning. Deets is the world's greatest car salesman because, like, he can show you a Chevy Chevelle, and I'm using my experience of fitting in small cars.
Right.
He can show you a two-door Chevy Chevelle to a guy like me, 6'5", 285 pounds. Right. I look at it. I'm not getting in that some bitch. There's no way I'm getting there. 3 minutes later, I'm handing him a down payment.
Right.
To find a way to fit my tall ass in that Chevelle.
But that's
you'll fit. You'll fit. Don't worry about it. But that's all I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna have a team, and everybody's always said, oh, you can't do it here because of weather. You can't do it here because of this, because of that. Right. Like, Nashville has you have no problem with weather in Nashville. Like, could you get hit with rain? Yeah, but you could get hit with rain in Miami. You can get hit. wherever they play, if it's not in a dome, weather can be an issue no matter what.
Yeah, you could have a weather
I mean,
stoppage
hell,
in
they
North
were
Carolina.
worried about they were worried about weather in New Jersey, for God's sakes, when they played MetLife Stadium.
You could have bad weather in North
Question
Carolina.
is, will they ever go back to
stoppage.
MetLife Stadium?
But you know what they call you know what they call Nashville.
What?
They call Nashville the Vegas East.
Vegas East.
It only makes sense.
Okay, let's do this. Let's have a little fun here. Name a stadium that will never, ever, ever in life host the Super. Name a stadium and/or city that would never ever host the Super Bowl.
Lambeau Field.
Lambeau.
They would do it at Lambeau Field.
No, they wouldn't.
More.
Why?
Charlotte,
because Lambeau will never
host a Super Bowl.
Maybe after our lifetimes. Definitely not in my lifetime.
Here's one.
Lambeau Field. They're not going to upgrade it. It is. Lambeau Field is the Wrigley Field of. They are not going to touch. They're not going to touch it. They are not going to do it. Why? And here's why. But here's why. It's because who's the owner of the Green Bay Packers?
The fans are.
The people in that building. The people in that building are 50% owners. There is no way they are going to allow someone to come in and touch anything in that stadium. So they will never get upgraded. So they'll never see Super Bowl because you have to have an upgraded stadium to be able to host Super Bowl. Plus the fact that in Lambeau's the only thing there. There's no hotels. They don't have the infrastructure to host a Super Bowl because they don't have the facilities.
You're traveling. Everything would be outside of Green Bay.
Here's
I need Snowman's thoughts on Ant-Man giving the Spurs respect with 8 minutes to go in Game 6. You'll hear that later.
Here's the place that we'll never see one. Cleveland will never see a Super Bowl either.
God. You know what's bad? They're trying to build a new stadium in Cleveland, in Avon, Ohio.
Oh God!
With a freaking dome on it. So you know what's
if they get a new stadium, they could definitely see a Super Bowl. They could definitely see a Super Bowl.
Then God knows if Cleveland gets a new stadium, then God knows that toilet of a city will have a Super Bowl. I think Cincinnati, because they're not upgrading Paul Brown Stadium.
Nope.
Or Paycor Stadium as it's called now.
Pittsburgh.
You can't play a Super Bowl in Pittsburgh, and I'll give you a fundamental reason why. The turf. Because Pittsburgh hosts the high school state championships at Heinz Field. I know it's Acrisure Stadium, but it's Heinz Field.
Heinz Ketchup Field.
I'll tell you a stadium that will host the Super Bowl in the future, and it's right near me, Lucas Oil.
Yeah, you know what I start calling a Pittsburgh versus New England match? The only game you can play on a hot dog because it's mustard and ketchup. That's it.
Oh, the dog would not like you for that statement.
No, I know he would. That's why I'm saying it now because he's not here.
Yeah. Did I take him off the?
I don't know.
I'm sorry about that. I hit the wrong button.
I actually don't know. I don't know if they would do. I don't know if they would do Lucas Oil. I don't think they would do Lucas Oil Stadium.
Why not?
Because
they've done it once.
Because look what's happened. Yeah, but that was when the Super Bowl was the first weekend in February. Look what's happening 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later is the combine, which is always at Lucas Oil. And while they're getting ready for the Super Bowl, they're also prepping for the combine.
So it could be a situation.
So
And
yeah,
since
I mean,
since the Super
they're going to
Bowl
have
is
way
now-
too much going on.
Yeah, and since the Super Bowl is now 1 week later, instead of being the first week in February, it's now in the second week of February. Too much prep will be going on for the combine. I would still think.
So I don't think they would do. I don't think they would do it.
Well, they got one in Lucas Oil. They got one.
Yeah.
Would they get another one? I don't know.
I don't know
if they'll get another one in Lucas Oil, especially now with the date of the Super Bowl being moved
back, and there's other things on top of that too.
Yeah, everything's moved back a week.
And you look at what the NFL is trying to do. Like the NFL is trying to do they're trying to hit as many places as possible. I don't think they would spend, because you think about it, they're going to spend 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks in Indianapolis, as in 2 weeks getting ready for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, probably another week to, get everything, just another week as far as the Super Bowl is concerned. Just another week to, after the Super Bowl, just to get everything cleared up and then get everything out of there. And then
that media week too.
Go back to Indianapolis for the combine. Like they're going to spend 5 weeks in Indianapolis? No, they know they have Indy. They know they have Indy already covered for the combine, so they're going to try to get it, and they're trying to get more people involved, more places involved. So that's why they would go to everywhere else rather than go to Indy, where they're going to be for Indy for 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's also got to take consideration.
That's wild.
It would make me happy. It would make me happy because it would be another chance for me to see Lucas Oil Stadium. But I'm planning to do that hopefully in September or October, whenever they have the Circle City Classic, and also plan to broadcast from Soldier Field. What's that?
Here's something hilarious. The one time I actually did go to Lucas Oil Stadium was because there was actually a farmer's market at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
When my dad, we took a vacation to Indianapolis. We saw the NCAA building. And now I know D's are gonna say, "Why are you messing things up so bad?" I could have just yelled it at the building. But at the same time, but then before we left, we actually went to Lucas Oil Stadium, and there was a big farmers market.
Well, I've done 3 games. I've done 3 games at Lucas Oil Stadium. Had a blast each time doing it. Mm-hmm. And the last time I was there was 2017. And I didn't even plan on it. Okay. I did not plan on doing the Circle City Classic. However, to use a note that Dietz told me before the show, I had a conversation with a hater.
Oh, no.
And said hater dared me to land the Circle City Classic.
Okay.
So I had to open my whole big ass mouth and said, I can land broadcast credentials in 48 hours before you land broadcast credentials for Cameron Indoor Stadium. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I opened my mouth, I thought, how the hell am I going to do this? So I reached out to the folks in Indy. I was living in Dayton, Ohio at the time. I reached out to the folks in Indy, and I said I'd like to broadcast the game. 24 hours later, I had media passes.
There you go.
One day after that, I had a person approaching me wanting to use my call for the stadium feed. You're on. Not to mention the fact that I made $2,500 that weekend with all the sponsorships I sold. So don't ever dare me like that. Speaking of conversation with a hater, Dietz had one. I think we'll use that to close the hour, and then we'll also have our Mint Mobile call of the day, and it came to us from the South Side.
And I get to talk about baseball.
We all get to talk about baseball. Dear Allison Moran, and this is the only time I will pick at it.
I knew you were going to do it.
Give me this camera. Give me this camera. Dear Allison Moran, nah. We'll see you later in the season.
She gonna get you. Friday, you gonna get it.
Oh,
she gonna get it Friday.
Oh, I'm gonna get beaned on Friday by Allie. I know that. I know that. I'm gonna get beaned on Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where's my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where's my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze claw.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Sometimes I wonder what the hell's on my mind when I put those together. 46 after the hour. Welcome to all of our stations tuning in. And Deeds had a conversation with a hater. Let's hear it.
All right. So Friday night, I had a conversation, and I did not start this conversation. I just muddled my way into it. But people were talking about the NFL, and one guy said, quote,
uh-oh. Whoa. I wasn't ready. One guy said, quote.
The Cowboys would be a good team if they had a good quarterback.
Close quote. Now wait a minute. Wait. Just a moment before you continue. As much as I razz on Dak Prescott, I recognize he is the quarterback of the Cowboys, and he's good. I dig that.
Here's what I said. So these guys were having their conversation. So what I said to him, how I answered to him was,
tell me why you're wrong.
So I said, so what's a good quarterback? I said, how many good quarterbacks are there in the NFL? And the guy looked at me and he said, there's about 15 good quarterbacks. I said, and you're telling me, I said, so you said half the league is good quarterbacks, and you're telling me Dak Prescott is not in the top 15. And the guy looked at me and he said, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, so you're telling me there's 15 other quarterbacks that are better than Dak Prescott? I said, let's go down the list. But I said, let's go down the list. I said, let's just go down the list of all the teams and tell me that Dak Prescott is not, that you wouldn't have Dak Prescott over said quarterback. And we started going down the list, and we could do that here. I thought that would be like a fun thing, like would you rather, and just go down the list of all the quarterbacks. And I can guarantee you Dak is better than 15 of them. Dak is going to be in your top 15.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I get through going through all of this with him. I'm like, dude, there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Dak is better than half of them. Like, Dak is better than half of them. He is a good quarterback. So then this is where it goes from a conversation to a hater, because the hater does what everyone does in every kind of conversation when they know they're beaten. They put words in my mouth that I never said. So now all of a sudden, because I said Dak is a good quarterback, and I prefaced him with this. I said, look, Dak is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. But he is a good quarterback. I said he's good, not great. I prefaced that. But all of a sudden, to make his point, he had to say, "Oh, look it! You just said Dak's the best quarterback in the league," and I said, "I have never said those words. I said I have never said those words. I said he's good, not great." See, and then you can't get through to them once they put those words in your mouth. See, you're saying it again, and I'm like, no, just because I don't think he's terrible and awful, just because I said he's good, does not mean I think he's the best. It does not mean I think he's even in the top. Like you said, top 15. I didn't. I didn't make that. I didn't make those terms. You did, and I answered your question. But that's what people do. And we talk about this on Wednesdays all the time with transsexuals. If they're not the best, they're the worst. Right. If you think somebody's good, you think they're the best. No. My words I chose my words
correctly,
meaningfully. I use them meaningfully. Good means good. Great means better than good. Best means number one and above all the rest. Well, that's how I had to define this guy. And he's still like, you still think that's the greatest? And I was like, no. I was like, all right, we're done. I was like, we're done with this conversation. But it happens with everybody. Okay. When you say, oh, this so and so movie is good, like you say, oh, I like Batman versus Superman. Oh my God, you think it's the greatest movie? No, I just said I liked it. I just said I liked it. It doesn't mean I think it's the greatest movie ever made. Right. It just says, yeah, I liked it. It doesn't mean it's great. It doesn't even mean it's good. It just means I liked it. Like people, anytime they're beaten, they try to put words into your mouth, and it's like,
okay,
I didn't say that.
Playmakers trying to troll.
Playmakers
troll your deeds. Playmakers trying to troll.
Playmakers getting in on the fun, trolling you.
He said, "Yes, I'm trolling."
And Playmaker even said he even admits he said, "Yes, I'm trolling."
Here's what I say. It's like let's take another movie. Let's take a movie that I think most people do not like. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I didn't hate it. Ghostbusters 2016, the all-female version.
Mm-hmm.
You either think it's one of the greatest movies ever made, or it's a piece of garbage. Now, I didn't care for it, but it was okay, right? You can have that. You can have that thing. Like
I didn't watch. I didn't see it, so I can't pass I can't pass judgments. I didn't see it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that it's the quintessential fan viewpoint.
I can. You picked the wrong movie for that conversation.
As the greatest,
but you're right. You're right. People either think it's the greatest thing, or they've watched it and realized it's It's one of the worst movies of all time. It's a god awful movie.
I'm thinking from my perspective, it was like below average. What I watched, but it wasn't like a steaming pile of a turd. You know.
Well, you're talking to someone. You're talking to someone, Victor. You're talking to someone who, off the top of my head, can quote Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Ghostbusters 1984 and Ghostbusters 2. I don't need a script. I can quote the entire. I can quote 100. I will quote 98%. I can quote 100%. I refuse to quote the birthday party scene because it's the worst scene in the history of the movie. But I can quote 100% of both movies and saw Ghostbusters 2016, and yes, it is hot it is hot garbage. But you're right. People either think it's the greatest thing or the worst thing. There's middle ground. There's middle ground between best and worst. There's a middle ground.
That even Playmaker says was the
Playmaker
best
added again.
MK movie of an MK movie.
Wait, the new Mortal Kombat 2, or are we talking about Annihilate?
I think it's the new one.
The new Mortal Kombat 2.
I think. I'm not sure. Because Annihilation wasn't Mortal Kombat. Well, it was Mortal Kombat, the sequel, but it wasn't Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let's keep it sports related. You just said about what we do on Wednesdays. Those individuals like either, that's why, and this is why I say about those individuals. They are the only set of people that have ever tried to denigrate those that came before to prop up their guy. I don't know, and maybe there have been. I don't know.
Why
I don't ever see people say, "Oh, Jordan's the best. Dr. J was trash. Moses Malone was trash."
No.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to the. Listen, Dr. J was my first favorite player. I am very loyal to Julius Erving, just like I'm loyal to Michael Jordan. Okay.
Yeah, he's the new one. Okay. Yeah.
By the way, Playmaker, I have something for you.
Use a troll.
Troll.
Use a troll.
Troll.
But yeah, what I mean, everybody has that kind of conversation where it's like, you said they're good, so that means they're the greatest. No, I can say good. I can say good and mean good. As I said, Dak's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
Well, think about this.
Right.
I think Dak led the league in passing yards this year.
He finished second.
He finished second. Okay,
he finished second.
He finished second because they pulled him against the Giants.
Gotcha. Well, but that's the thing. Is like
out of it.
that. But that's the thing is that, okay, someone who is basically came in second in most passing yards this season, he's a bad quarterback for that.
But that's what I was trying to like. I was trying to be like. I was like, okay. I was like, but what do you mean by good? And the guy said, 15. I was like, you really think? I was like, you really think Dak's not in the top 50? I was like, go through the league. There are a lot of bad quarterbacks in this league.
Right.
And And we just started going through. I just started naming names. I was like, "So you're telling me I was like, so you're telling me the Falcons have a better quarterback? You're telling me Malik
Cardinals.
Malik, what you talking about? Willis is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. You're telling me the body that the Jets decide to put at quarterback. You're telling me that guy's better. You're telling me that guy's better than Dak Prescott? No, go through the league. There's more than 15 that Dak is going to be. That's going to be better than them.
Here's what I'd say.
Okay, Deets Berman.
Here's what I would say. Would you take Dak Prescott or would you take Malik Willis? Would you take Dak Prescott or take Tua playing the ball over? Would you take Dak Prescott or would you take Geno Smith?
Would you take Dak over Kyler Murray? Would you take Dak over Jacoby Brissett? Would you take Dak over Fernando Mendoza, who's never stepped foot on an NFL field? Would you?
Going to pass on the field yet? Would you take Dak over JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy, Justin Fields,
right?
Russell Wilson.
Hey, you just have to go. You just have to go down the list of quarterbacks. You just have to go through teams and go, would you rather?
You know what? Let's do that on Friday. Let's really have some fun with it on Friday. We need to go to a break because we're at the top of the hour. But before we go to a break, it's time for our Mint Mobile Call of the Day, brought to you by Mint Mobile, the official wireless carrier of Snowman Multimedia. We go to the south side of Chicago. Len Casper and Darren Jackson delivered this.
Tying run at third. Caro hits a fly ball out in the deep left center field. It's back there. It is gone! Edgar Caro wins it! Shut up! Yes! The young man deserves it.
That was Edgar Carroll's 2-run home run to win the game over the Chicago Cubs 9-8. And the White Sox take 2 of 3 in the Crosstown series.
On that game.
We'll get to the musings.
Oh, we need that clip. We need that clip for every time we have somebody. Shut up!
He what?
He said shut up.
No, he said socks up.
We need to.
He did.
Shut up.
Here it is. You know what? I'll play it again. It sounded like he said either step up or shut up.
I thought he said socks up.
But Len Casper, legendary Chicago voice. He has been the television voice of the Cubs. He's now the radio voice of the White Sox along with Darren Jackson. But yeah, he delivered that call, presented by Mint Mobile, the official wireless carrier of Snowman Multimedia. We're running late. We head to a break. Baseball musings with Victor and myself after the break. My thoughts on the conference finals inside of a Snowman's Take, and that won't take long. And a few more things to handle. Hour 2 in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you and you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
From the hills of Santa Clara to the legacy of the stick, this is where red runs deep and greatness wears gold. 40 plus years of fan, 30 years in the booth, and now it's personal. The 49ers like you've never heard them before. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Hosted by Brian Snow, each week you will get a recap of the game that just happened and the game that will happen. All the stats, facts, and figures, all the fun notes, fan chats, and everything else you could put into 30 minutes. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What are we doing?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
What are we doing, Rory McIlroy? What are we doing, Detroit Pistons? What the hell are we doing, Chicago Cubs? What the hell are we doing, UFL? Yes, that's a direct shot. Victor, give us the ID, please.
4 after the hour, and we owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the Morning.
Broadcasting live in your region, across our nation, and around the world, this is Snowman Multimedia.
To all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters.
Well, that game sucked.
I am cute.
Oh, is that?
You tripping. Who told this lie? Shut up.
Terrell Jones has no brains. His football acumen is the same capacity as Gun Run's moral capacity.
I will never get over that line.
No, I know you
Ever.
won't. All right.
I will never get over that line.
Well, that game sucked.
Now, you know what Cub fans are saying right now?
Well, that game sucked.
And
You know
Sox
what's
fans
funny?
are saying,
You fool! You know what's funny? I told
What's
you
that?
I told you, Snowman, in the text chat that the Chiseled Adonis, one of my favorite YouTubers, had just got 1 million subscribers
Yes.
on Friday. And I decided to put a super chat in there to
He
kind of
did.
show him a little love. And guess who found me?
Mhm.
None other than the man that said that same line. A Pizzle. A Pizzle was in the chat. So we're joking back and forth in the chat. Making jokes about,
I love it.
old Nick Folk videos because that was one of my favorite video packages. But
Yep.
again, congratulations to you, Chisel. You truly deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Chiseled
our-
Adonis. And you've spurred folks like me and Victor on. 6 after the hour, and Victor has some musings about this past weekend series. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the random musings of Before we get to that, let's have another listen to the call of the day from Len Casper and Darren Jackson.
Tying run at third. Caro hits a fly ball out into deep left center field. It's back there. It is gone! Edgar Caro wins it! Shut up! Yes! The young man deserves it.
Darren Jackson did say shut up. Victor, go.
So there was one word, because as I was yesterday, I decided to cook a big piece of salmon, and I usually, gaming. So I decided let's go ahead and turn on the TV and turn on in the Sox game. And big shout out to WCIU for actually having the game available that I could watch. there was one word that came to my mind watching that game. This is what I have been waiting for from the White Sox.
Yes.
That game was amazing. Not just because it got extra innings, not just because it had 2 ties, but just the way the White Sox played. They didn't play perfect, but they didn't need to. They also didn't need to depend on the long ball. I saw loopers going in the gap. In fact, one of my favorite plays, I think it was Vargas, that actually got a 2-run double that tied
Miguel Vargas.
Yep, that tied the game up at 4 apiece because it was 4-1 Cubs.
Yep.
Going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Then you get a run coming in, 4-2. And again, their runs batted in. Their runs batted in and not off of home runs. Thank you. This is what I've been waiting for.
And I'll add to that. Tristan Peters, who had not hit a home run all season,
right,
cranked one in the 8th inning.
In fact, Vargas almost cranked one. It just hit the top of the fence, and then fell right in front of the nose of the right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, it was honestly, Snowman, it was like being back in Linwood.
Yes.
Seeing that type of play was like being back in Linwood, calling the game. I actually fell into a routine.
You and me both, man, because I was checking out that game while I was prepping for the Indiana Fever.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can think of was the same word. This.
When I told you how I was angry and I had, and mind you, I was so disappointed when I saw that massacre at the beginning of the season against the Milwaukee Bruins. But then again, Milwaukee Bruins, they're the Bruins.
They're the Brewers.
Brewers.
They're the Brewers.
Sorry, dog. But it was such a good game. I was like, man, and I came back after I was talking to somebody on the phone. I came back and said, let's see. Maybe the Cubs finally pulled this one out. They're tied at 7 apiece. And we're in 10 innings now.
Yep. 3-run homer in the 9th tied it off of Sir Anthony Dominguez. Cubs get the lead 8-7. And then this is where I come in. Dear Ryan Rolson, the lefty Cubs reliever, he threw, I'm going to try to do this in the way of Dietz and I's, one of our favorite announcers of all time, Mr. Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson, during Game 6 of the 77 World Series on ABC, said, quote, Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches in the strike zone tonight. 2. And he said them both into the seats.
Yep.
Ryan Rolston threw 2 pitches in the 10th inning yesterday. 2. And the last one ended up in the seats.
Yep.
How do you feel, Ryan Rolson, if you are called on to get a save? You're called on to get a save, and Dietz is smiling. I see that little smirk on his face. You're called on to get a save. All you have to do is get 3 outs. 3. That's all you got to do is get 3 outs.
Well,
the first pitch he threw, and it was a lefty-lefty matchup because he was facing Andrew Benintendi. First pitch he throws, and Benintendi does a perfect drag bunt up the first baseline, and he nearly beat it, but he was called safe. They looked at it, they made the correct call, and he was called out.
Yeah.
Runner advanced, tying run at third. And I'm gonna play this again because it does my heart so good to know that another professional announcer can lose his mind and crack his voice on a game winner, which I have done for 31 years. The second pitch that Ryan Rolson threw in the 10th inning, once again, this happened.
Tying run at third. Caro hits a fly ball out into deep left center field. It's back there. It is gone! Edgar Caro wins it! Shut up! Yes! The young man deserves it.
Finish up, Victor.
And so when I watched that, it brought a tear to my eye.
Where'd he go, Victor?
Like, can you hear me? It's like it brought a
Yeah,
tear to
we
my
heard
eye.
you.
It brought a tear to my eye because it's like finally we're seeing it. We're seeing that F word that we miss so much. The fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Drag bunts, squeezes.
Yes.
Dropping a looper right in front of the left fielder, but just behind the shortstop. Those crane shots I've been missing this. Look, I don't have a problem with the home runs. That's always fun to watch. But you want to see runs getting batted in. You want to see situational hitting. I don't think the Sox left that many people on base this time. There are a couple hiccups. 6. Because Hill, you got to show up your swing, bud. Because there were some pitches you knew
Yep, Derek Hill.
You know what well not to swing at. There were some bad chases, but all in all, this was an amazing game. And I hope that this is the start of something brilliant, not just for the Sox, but for the Cubs as well. Because the Cubs hung in there. Let me give flowers.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Cubs hung
Yeah, they
in
did.
there. And I think they did in honor of the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern, who unfortunately passed away this past Friday. But man, I tell you, that was a good game. This is why, yes, Homer boy, we talk about baseball here. Those are my musings.
And those are, ladies and gentlemen, the random musings of Let me go a little further. The White Sox are now 2 games above 500. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. And they are, you ready for this? 1 game out of first place. 1.
You said it before. This is a young ball club. It just took a while.
It took a while, and now the White Sox are
the 24-22 record.
They're one of 4 teams that are above 500 in the American League. Cleveland, the White Sox, Tampa Bay, and the Yankees. And the Yankees are about to fall off a cliff.
Oh, dear.
After leading the East Division, Tampa Bay is now leading the East Division.
Don't make Wise mad.
But, I'm saying, look, we tell the truth here. You know that. You know that.
I know.
And if I know why, bless is hard. Bless Wise is hard. If I know Wise, he's thinking, the utter blasphemy.
Exactly.
I told you I'd get that sound. But, once again, Wise is thinking, the utter blasphemy. That we're talking ish about his Yankees. Well, if you actually had a closer, maybe, just maybe, you'll win a few more games.
Let's ask the audience, and this should be one of the polls. What we need to find is the national clip of the end of that game.
Oh,
because what do you want? What do you want from your announcer? Do you want your announcer to say, "And there's a home run and the game's over," or do you want that? Tell me which one's more Tell me which one's more entertaining to an audience.
Right.
Yeah, I'd want to keep Len Casper's call. I'd want to keep Len Casper's call. That's why I recorded it. It took me an hour to find it because I kept finding John Schriffin's call. I kept finding John Schriffin's television call from Chicago Sports Network. Okay. But dadgummit. Give me Len Casper all day with his voice cracking just like mine does on a home run, which Victor has heard when we covered the Chicago Public League for 10 years together. Yep. Yep. Victor's ridden shotgun with me when we covered the
PA. Paul Allen.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear
Paul
him
Allen.
go nuts, be it for good or for ill,
I've heard
when you hear
Paul
him go
Allen.
nuts,
Paul Allen. I've heard Paul Allen go nuts. I've heard Bob Wischusen, the voice of the Jets. Bob Papa, voice of the Giants. Greg Papa, voice of the 49ers.
Yep.
I've heard them. Mitch Holthus, voice of the Chiefs. For many years, my inspiration, Jim Durham.
Jeff Joniak for the Bears.
Jim Durham and Johnny. Yep, Jeff Joniak for the Bears, and before Jeff Joniak, Wayne Larrabee.
Wayne Larrabee, yes.
Howie Rose, Gary Cohen, John Sterling.
Oh, God. John Sterling.
It's so. But you, Hawk Harrelson.
Hawk Harrelson. Dave Sims, who's the current radio voice of the New York Yankees and a very dear friend. Rick Riz, radio voice of the Seattle Mariners, and he's going to retire after this year. So blessings to you, Rick Riz. And I hope to get the chance to meet him. Who's that?
Mr. Mixon. Mick Mixon from the Panthers.
Mick. Right? Oh yeah. Mick gave me the ultimate compliment when I had him on each Thursday during his retirement year. He said aloud on the air, and I have to find it. He said that whoever follows him needs to be on my show each week, the voice of the Panthers, which is Anish Shroff, and I'm trying to get him on each week.
And let's not forget Matt Taylor.
Mr. Matt Taylor. Absolutely. Matt Taylor. I got a funny story about that. I told you guys this. I'll tell the audience. My mother-in-law and my wife went to Kentucky one Sunday, and I had not planned to do the Colts game. I planned to do the 49ers game because it was a 4:00 kickoff.
Right.
I'm 3/4 of the way asleep, and I know everybody in the audience and everybody on this panel has gone through it. I'm 3/4 of the way asleep, just about to get into that second level where you don't hear anything, and my phone rings. And I turned it on just for that purpose because she was in Kentucky. My wife calls, and she says, "Are you doing the Colts game?" No, because I'm doing the 49ers game later. Well, you need to do the Colts game right now. We can't hear it. Baby, it's on the Colts radio network. My wife's next three words had me scrambling when she says, and I gotta do this right. Pay homage to Cole Johnson. My wife's next 3 words were, quote, "We're in Kentucky." Close quote. Well, y'all know what happened next. I was scrambling in here, getting everything fired up, getting ready to do the second half of the game, and I was still new from surgery at that time, which means my body kept messing up on me. I've done better. I gotta wait to take off. I'll talk about that a little later. But I had to take an extended break, and Victor, you know why?
Yeah.
My stomach was acting stupid.
Yep, I remember.
When I get home, my wife told me, she says, "I listened to your call. You did a great call, but you got to stay out of the bathroom." I was cracking up. And me being stupid, walked right into the trap, and I went, "What you mean?"
Right.
I can tell she says, "I can tell when you're in the bathroom. Your breaks take longer than usual." That one did, because it took about 7 minutes when it should have been only 2.5 minutes. But kudos to the White Sox for a walk-off White Sox winner. They're now 2 games above 500. They're one of only 4 teams in the American League that are above 500, and they're only 1 game out of the division lead.
Yeah, I want to say
take
this
a break.
Before we take a break, hold on.
Go ahead.
I want to say this before we take a break. This is not because the Sox won. It's because this was an all-around good game. Even if they did this well and lost, I was very pleased with what I saw. I was very
game.
I'm very pleased with what I saw.
Great series.
Yes.
Great. Steve Stone said it. Great series all around. Great series all around. Pluto Living says SGA is on a historic run right now. If he continues, his legacy will not be narrative based. Yes, it will. And yes, I'm trolling. Take a break. Come back. Speaking of narrative based, there's a young lady by the name of Caitlin Clark who's had narratives about her. And yesterday and Friday, she decided to have a little fun and prove them wrong. WNBA chatter is next. Introduce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Six after the hour, and yes, you have Asia Wilson, who's the reigning 2-time MVP. Yes, you have the Las Vegas Aces, who are the 2-time defending champions. Yes, they've added Kennedy Carter, which gives their team a boost off the bench, and I recognize that. But there's a young lady who's back in business by the name of Caitlin Clark, who dropped 32 points on Friday and flirted with a triple-double on Sunday. 21 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. She's back. But she will not get the shine that is due her because of how she has started out the season shooting wise. Well, hell. Go ahead. Talk about her negatively. Go ahead. Say everything you want to say. Now, I will say this. To be the champs, you have to beat the champs. And there's a long road to hoe to get to the Las Vegas Aces. I understand that. I'm looking forward to those matchups, and we see them 3 times. But given the fact that Indiana could, and I will call a spade, Indiana could easily be 4-0 on the year. The 2 losses at home, we gave them away. We had double-digit leads in both those games and lost them both. One in regulation in a shootout with Paige Beckers and company, and one in overtime, which Caitlin Clark hit a miracle 3 to tie the thing. But again, I'll say it real. We had double-digit leads in both those games. Matter of fact, in all 4 games for Indiana, they held double-digit leads. The win in Los Angeles and the win at home against Seattle, where they won by 11. Mm-hmm. But I'll echo a point that Chris Dietz said last week. It's a win anyway when you get Caitlin Clark playing 30 minutes after how much time she's missed off the court.
Right.
It's a win anyway when you're able to beat a team without your best big. I'm talking about Aaliyah Boston, who was out yesterday with a lower leg injury. It's a win anyway when Stephanie White puts a hybrid lineup together, which includes Lex Hall, who was diving all over the place. You know what? Here's the nickname I can give Lexi Hall. There was a player at Loyola Marymount by the name of Tom Peabody. His nickname, the Human Bruise. We may have another one in Lexi Hall. We just may have another form of that in Lexi Hall. But you know something? I'll take 2-2 right now.
Right.
I'll take it. Why will I take it? Because you know the flaws of the Indiana Fever. We're seeing them right there. They get up double digits and they get comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I've said it during all 4 games. You cannot get comfortable.
Right.
You simply can't. But a pair of 100-point games, I'll take that. The highest scoring opening day game in WNBA history, 211 points. I'll take that.
Right.
And you know what makes it even more fun? They're just scratching the surface.
Tip of the iceberg.
They are just scratching the surface. I will echo a point that Playmaker said for the Indiana fans to do, because I saw a couple of articles already. Let Stephanie White coach the team, please. Let her do the doggone thing. Will you? Will you fans be fans and cheer the team on?
You know,
I know it's not going to happen.
Because you know that one song that we play for WQVZ?
I know fans over the course of 31 years. Speaking of WQVZ, and since we're at the bottom of the hour, I may as well give them a shout while I'm at it. Here we go. Local station ID time. This is Snowman in the Morning.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
For me and the Lord, we got to understand it. We're on a mission from God.
That.
Yeah. That's what everybody. That's what every fan.
Stop being an armchair quarterback to let Stephanie White coach the team. Will you please? Will you? I'll repeat Playmaker's point. I don't have the video available to me, and we got someone waiting on us. But I'll repeat Playmaker's point. Shut up and let Stephanie White coach the team. Will you please? Please.
Please.
That's Snowman's take. That's yours. Now, Let's have some fun and go to North Carolina. How's that for an intro? Jay Spivey is with us from North Carolina. Good morning, Jay.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
All righty.
We're doing good, man.
It was so good to see really good baseball on the south side of Chicago this weekend. I'll say that.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Hey, the baseball's the sport.
It is.
Wow. Amazing.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Hey, I said for my music, I said, and yes, Homer boy, we do talk baseball here. So
yeah, ironically, as I sit here now, I'm watching MLB Network as we speak.
There
you go. There you go. There you go.
As I do every morning. I don't know.
What?
Just to give a plug out, and I'm certainly not getting paid to do this, obviously, but if you guys have not seen, I know you do a show at this time every morning, but I don't know if you see the replay. There's a show on MLB Network called MLB Central, which is really, really, really good. Mm-hmm. It's like the baseball version of NBA Tonight.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's excellent. It's just, and I just happened to fall upon it 5 or 6 years ago when I was watching it. It's terrific.
Right.
Oh boy. Hang tight, folks. There we go. Now
all the shows on MLB Network are good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. That's why I have it. We talk baseball here. Yet in 2020, I was told not to.
You both were told.
When I first hooked up with Jay.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just told a friend of mine that the exact same thing happened to me, as you all know.
Yep.
And my friend who I just told this to said, "Does that mean that the listeners don't like it, or that the moderator doesn't like it?" And I said, "There you go. There's your answer."
You just said it. Yep. The moderator, who is very familiar to Jay and I, hates baseball.
How do you hate
baseball? I'll tell you, he made that a golden rule.
A command, yes.
He made it a command when I got on this network. Yet he points me to Jay Spivey, who's an Atlanta Braves fan and a baseball fan. Really?
Sure am.
We've made jokes about that for so long. Dietz even did one last Friday saying, time out. You guys are talking baseball? Nobody talks baseball.
The only time we ever discussed baseball was when Hank Aaron died. He goes, well, I guess we should talk about Hank Aaron, but we don't normally talk about baseball. Well, it was like an obligation for him to talk about Hank Aaron.
Right.
When he repeated that, I cannot tell you how many times he repeated that to me, especially after Hank Aaron died, and he capitulated and said, "You got to talk about Hank Aaron, but you normally don't talk baseball. Want to bet?"
No, I asked.
Ever since Jay and I have been together, we've had notes about baseball. You kidding?
It is a sport. It is a sport.
It is.
I asked this question: if Carolina had a baseball team, would he have actually
No.
He still wouldn't? Wow.
No. Because listen, 2022 Wake Forest baseball.
Well, yeah, I remember that.
Doggone near got to the national championship series. 23. Thank you.
I was
23.
there. I was on for that one. You guys talked about that so much about how
we follow Wake Forest baseball each and every week. The better they got, the more we followed them.
They were in maybe
he would have had
they were in a game that a lot of people consider the best college baseball game ever in the College World Series. When they played LSU, it was Skeen versus Brett Lauder.
Oh my gosh!
1-0.
It took a walk-off home run to win it for LSU in 11 innings. 11 innings.
He never talked.
I just don't understand that logic. Like that I'd have to poke into his brain. I probably would find an ashtray and a cereal bowl if I ever like cracked his head open. But it's
you don't want to.
There's no logic. There's no logic to it. There's nothing to explain that.
He lives less than 2 hours away from Raleigh, where the Hurricanes play. He never talks about the Hurricanes as hot as they are.
He doesn't talk hockey either. Gotcha.
Never talks about the Hurricanes.
And the Hurricanes will be playing for a spot in the Stanley, and the Hurricanes will be playing for a spot in the Stanley Cup beginning this week.
It's Carolina basketball, Carolina football, the Panthers, and the NBA, and the Hornets all year round.
All year.
That sounds like a terrible
You know what he
itinerary
did?
for
You know what else?
radio.
You know what else he did? You know what else? You know what else he did when I allowed him to be producer of my show, and he would send me the subjects. It was all Carolina based.
Who cares?
And I'm like,
what is
listen. I said, listen, Doc. Snowman in the Morning is a national show, and he kept hammering home that you got to be local. Listen, local. I will give a nod to the local show scene because local was how I got started in Chicago. Okay. When I first did Snowman in the Morning, I had covered all of the local Chicago news. Then I expanded.
Yeah.
And here we are sitting 12 and a half years later, being a nationally and internationally, thank you, Sig Diggy, syndicated show.
Here we are. The conference baseball tournament start this week. They are this week. Carolina's ranked number 2 in the country.
Yep.
Wake is the second best team in North Carolina behind Carolina. He never talks about them ever.
At all.
You know why? Because he hates him.
Now
he hates him. We don't.
I was at the beach for quite a while. I just got back Friday night. Where I was, Carolina was playing last week, and I had every intention of going, but you couldn't find a ticket for the game. Could not find a ticket, so I just drove by the stadium on my way back to the hotel. And it was overflow over there. You couldn't find a parking
space. It was packed. Ain't no way you're gonna find this.
And he never discusses it. Never.
That's sad.
So we're definitely gonna be following them this week.
He won't talk about them during the NCAA tournament next week. Never.
We do.
That's sad.
Definitely gonna be following them this week.
That's sad. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. If you call
he never
yourself
discusses Wake Forest, this is where he lives.
You know what?
You know what I found hilarious?
Yes, he lives in Winston-Salem.
You know what I found hilarious, no matter.
Victor, he lives in Winston-Salem.
Right.
What's that?
Remember when I brought up curling like a while back?
Yes.
I actually came across someone who said, you know what? I have never heard of a show that talked about curling before.
We'll talk about it now.
And she's a big curling fan. I was like, it's how we do it. I didn't know we had. I know there
a lot of
curling
people
fans,
don't because we don't really live in a cold weather area, but curling is very popular around the world. It really is.
It is. You know what? The first time, and I got to share this. The first time I saw a curling match, I took a look and went, "What the heck is this?"
What is this?
I had no clue. And I still don't totally understand it, but still.
I don't totally get it either, but I have to make an admission here. I'm hooked.
And it's during the Olympics, it's on nonstop.
Right.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's on more than hockey is.
It's on all the time.
It's on
curling is more Listen, during the Olympics, and I found this out, curling is more popular than hockey. Yeah. Truthfully.
A lot of countries it is. A lot of countries it is.
It's crazy to me that you have individuals who are saying, don't talk about these sports because no one talks about these sports. It's like, you don't know that.
Yeah. It's that you don't want to talk about it or you don't care about it.
Right.
If you don't like baseball, so what? The rest of us do like it.
Right.
When I lived in North Carolina and he was producing my show and I ventured to talking about baseball, I can't tell you how many times he yelled at me for it. Do you know how many baseball fans were writing in to tell me thank you?
Yes.
I was getting emails every day saying thank you for talking about baseball.
We were supposed to say
and
we do around the horn. We do it around the horn style. Yeah.
The other thing is, like, if you're going to discuss college, there's more than one college team in the state.
Yes, there is.
Yep.
Yes, there is. There's more
in
than
the conference where his team
more than the
is,
North
there
Carolina
are
Tar
4
Heels.
North Carolina teams.
Right.
And that doesn't even count a bunch of other teams in the states.
So that's what I'm thinking.
No,
like, that has to be a
it does
recipe for
not.
disaster. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
When
I'll tell you.
We don't.
I'll tell you
talk
about my
shit
friend.
about the sport.
I'll tell you about my friend Tia, who's watching us on Twitch, who's a big baseball fan. When I did the Marlins White Sox game, she and her whole community tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole community tuned in. So a shout to Tia, a shout to Bud, who's here. Pluto Living is here. Okay. Since it's going to be the prevalent subject this week,
yeah,
I don't like this Eastern Conference Finals matchup.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about prevalent thing being the Hornets this time of the year.
Oh God,
Prevalent
no.
thing in Hornets.
You said, wait a minute.
When was the last time they
Jay.
finished the conference final?
The answer to that would be never. In either iteration, did they sniff the conference? Did they sniff the conference final? But I don't like this Eastern Conference final matchup between the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's the
Wait! You said that. You said that. You said that wrong. You said that wrong.
The revenge.
Okay, how am I supposed to?
It's the wrong shit. Now, Victor, you might get this joke. It's the New York Knicks against the Raccoon City Cavaliers. Because as Snowman likes to say, the cadavers, they've been in the mortuary, ready to go.
Yep.
And gotten up off the table twice.
Yep.
The Cleveland I don't know who gave me that joke first, but I've been using it ever since. And Jay's heard me say this. A lot of people heard me say this about Cleveland. When people ask me to explain the legacy of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they would expect me to say LeBron. Nope.
No.
For me, the legacy of the Cavaliers is Craig Elo.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Why?
To Craig Elo.
Because it always happens to Craig Elo.
Yeah.
But I'm not fond of this matchup at all.
I'm not either.
Well, it's going to be an afterthought to the Western Final anyway.
Which begins tonight, and that's the top two teams in the league, the Spurs and the Thunder, which I expect to go all 7 games.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that happen.
I wouldn't.
I would not either. I would not either. And Jay said the word prevalent, which does not include the Hornets right now.
Please.
Like I said, prevalency and Hornets sounds like an oxymoron.
Please. When is the last time?
Jay just sent me a.
I'm not even talking about the playing game, which doesn't count. When's the last time they were even in the playoffs, let alone the conference final?
Does the NBA
They've
Cup
never.
Does the NBA Cup count? Otherwise, no.
No. What a stupid trophy. No.
You a fool, Victor.
No.
I hate you for that joke, but it's true. The Charlotte Hornets have never sniffed the conference finals, and given the state of their franchise, never will sniff the conference final. The play-in to me doesn't count. I hate the play-in tournament. I absolutely abhor the play-in tournament. It's stupid, but we know it's a money grab. Just like the NBA Cup.
Like I said,
that's a total money grab.
This means more basketball.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
More people, and that's how they get the money. That's all that matters. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. There's no.
It means absolutely nothing.
Means nothing. So I got a question. If you win and I'm smiling 2 feet deep because I'm getting ready to laugh as I ask this question. Are the Knicks cursed right now? Because they won the NBA Cup this past year.
They did.
Every team that has won the NBA Cup got pimp smacked in the playoffs.
Yep.
Which frightens me because they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, the other thing is Cleveland just finished.
Cadavers.
Cleveland just finished. The Knicks hadn't played what, a week?
Right.
Over a week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't want to have that much time off this time of the year.
No, you really
No, you don't. Because you're gonna be rusty.
You're gonna be like out of shape for a bit.
You're gonna be rustier than Rusty Staub at the plate for the Mets.
That's like the Hurricanes hadn't played in a week and a half.
Nope. And they're still waiting to play because Game 7 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres is tonight.
I don't believe. I think the Eastern Final starts Thursday.
And I gotta do.
So they're going to go. I believe it's be 11 or 12 days without playing once they start playing on Thursday.
Right.
It's at least 12 days. At least
I think
12
the last
days.
time they played was last.
And to make the joke that. Yep. And to repeat the joke that we always do here. Thank you, Ryan McCoffey, for this. What? 2 black men talking baseball and hockey?
Oh my goodness!
Right. How dare we?
Wait a minute. Let me do this. Let me do this right. This entire panel talking hockey. And baseball in the same. Wait a minute. And baseball in the same conversation.
What's he going to do if North Carolina gets an MLB team?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is like, do you like? That's what I was
Not
wondering, is that why?
Listen,
No.
if North Carolina ever gets a Major League Baseball team, I'm on the horn begging to be their play-by-play announcer in a blink of an eye. Period.
Well, he won't talk about you. I can promise you that.
I will.
Listen,
I don't live in Carolina anymore, but I did for 2 years.
The sorry no account Panthers and the sorry less than no account Hornets. But Bob, as I've told you many times before, far and away the best pro sports team in North Carolina is the Hurricanes. It's not even close.
It's the Carolina Hurricanes.
Right.
Not
Carolina
even
Hurricanes.
remotely close.
And he doesn't speak of them at all.
Never.
No.
In
And
fact,
that's crazy.
In fact, I got yelled at one show when I replaced a segment idea. Here's what happened. I replaced a segment idea of his, and I talked hockey. Because for the longest time, I taped my show for air. Do you know this man called me?
Oh, no.
Yelling at me saying, why did you talk hockey? Because it's a sport.
Right.
Because the Carolina Hurricanes are doing what they need, are doing what's necessary to win. Because I'm a Blackhawks fan.
Because there are several Canes fans in the area.
I mean, people are this season alone. People are very excited about this.
I asked this question. Do you guys know like what was like the average like amount of listeners he would get for that station?
A lot.
Someone like how?
As I sent you this before, this morning, Snowman. It'd be more than people talking about why does Joel Embiid need a contract extension, as what he was talking about this morning, apparently. Who cares?
I'm just thinking,
really?
Like, how?
I saw that. And how is Joel Embiid a topic for discussion when they just got pimp slapped by the New York Knicks?
Yeah, the Knicks just beat the snot out of them.
I don't get it.
And got embarrassed by having
it was
almost a Knicks home game up there last week.
In Philadelphia.
I mean, it was swarm
in Philadelphia. They get embarrassed.
Yep.
They get embarrassed by 30.
With
a capital EMB.
You're not going to win.
And not for Embiid either.
Right.
You're You're not going to win with Embiid. You're not.
They will never win with Joel Embiid. Never. I had people get mad at me when Ben Simmons got drafted in 2016.
The Invisible Man.
Everybody was so excited.
Yeah.
And I said,
how'd that work
watch
out?
this. I said, watch this. Within 3 years, Ben Simmons will be the biggest bust we ever talk about. Oh, the venom that was spat toward me. But
It's
then
like,
3 years, 3 years later, I get
it's
people
like,
contacting me saying, you were right.
Yeah.
It's like when Scam Newton was drafted by the Patriots. I told everybody, including family members, that they would never win with him. And family members crushed me for that. People I know crushed me for that. How'd that work out? Did they ever win with him?
Why?
Just imagine how it feels to be a Knicks fan. Your team gets over the hump. They get to an NBA Finals, and they have to face Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets that were an absolute juggernaut.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, you guys.
Your team finally gets over the hump. Your team is favored in the NBA Finals this year, and if they win, they have to play the Spurs or the Thunder.
The Thunder.
Okay.
So both times they get to the NBA Finals, they run into a juggernaut.
This is an obvious joke, and I apologize.
And remember when the Knicks. When the Knicks made the finals in 1994, they ran into Hakeem Olajuwon, who was a juggernaut. Well, they make the finals 5 years later in 1999. They run into the Spurs, who were a juggernaut with their version of the Twin Towers, Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And now, should they get through this year, they have an MVP waiting for them, or
Wemby,
Wemby waiting on them.
Look, I'm gonna make.
It's gonna be a freaking massacre.
I'm gonna make this joke, and I apologize in advance, Mr. Spivey, but like, y'all can't talk bad about Scam Newton. He's elite, right?
No. And
that's for you, Jay.
The throngs of people out there who think he should be in the Hall of Fame, shame on you.
Wait, what?
Oh my God!
Look, there's a lot of people.
Let me tell Victor. Let me tell you. When I lived in North Carolina, and Homer was producing my show, he threw that subject in there. He threw that subject in there. He put it in the form of a question.
Okay.
Should Cam Newton be a Hall of Famer?
No.
And he wanted me to talk about that for 15 minutes.
Look, I
gave him 30 seconds.
I don't hate Cam Newton as much as you guys. Okay, I thought he was like halfway decent. Okay, until people started learning how to read the read option. But Hall of Famer?
No,
not a chance.
Was he effective at what he did? Sure, but you cannot.
Yeah, but it was a short amount of time that he did it.
Right. You can't be a Hall of Famer.
Everybody makes out like his whole career was fantastic. It wasn't.
You know what? His Hall of Fame candidacy, if you want to put it that way, comes down to 8 games in 2015. That's it. And that's all.
I admit it. He had a great season in 2015. I told people that. I can admit that he had a great season, but he acted like a fool in the Super Bowl.
That you know exactly where I was going to go.
Couldn't do a thing.
That performance in the Super Bowl killed any type of.
No, I'm not even talking about the way he played because it got.
I know. I'm talking about the ending. I'm talking about the ending of it.
Well, he acted like a petulant little child.
Right. And I'm sorry. That whole I think it was Vaughn that was like
and
behind
people
him.
Never want to say that aloud.
And they were yelling back and forth, and that's why they couldn't hear him. I'm like,
bull.
Come on, man, that's a lame excuse.
That's baloney. That's too lame. And then we'll close here. Then the next year they had to face Denver again at Mile High Stadium, and he got pulverized.
On Thursday Night Football, got smashed.
Thursday Night Football.
Here's the thing: you were the one that was doing the dab. No one knew about the dab until Cam started doing it. You know good and hell well you are going to get scrutinized even more, and as soon as you lose, people are going to bring that up.
But people around here blamed it on the referees for how he was treated that night.
Right.
Really?
But
good Lord.
All you have to do to answer that question is he a Hall of Famer is bring up one name, and that's it. If Cam Newton's a Hall of Famer, Jake Delhomme's a Hall of Famer. And
there you go.
And Jake Delhomme did better.
And he's absolutely not. And you would have to ask. You'd have to say, all right, why Cam and why not Jake? And they can only answer that question one way.
And before him, Steve Berline. Right. All right, we got a split. Jay Spivey joining us every Monday as he does, talking all kinds of sports, including baseball, including hockey. And we tell the truth here. So and curling. And curling. Oh, boy.
And curling.
There you go.
This has been fun. Jay Spivey, thank you, brother. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys.
The new logo.
No. Jason Spots always throws me. No. As soon as they come with something silly, no.
No.
And I love that. We're out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. 4 WNBA doubleheaders beginning tomorrow. So long, everybody.
Who has a better chance between the Knicks winning finals or the Jets winning a Super Bowl? The Meteor has a better chance than both of them.
Hope y'all had fun. We sure did. We'll see you tomorrow. And to Damien's point, neither. We're out.